Another edition of Coach Speak, and away we go. Appreciate you as always. That's Ira. There's Corey. I'm Jeff. Ben on the ones and twos, and our thanks to Artesia Water, artesiawater.com. More on them in a bit. Delicious water is what you need to know. artesiawater.com. Ben, fire it up. What do we got, baby?
Hey, how about a little coach trash talk on Twitter? Okay, so we've had Charlotte head coach Biff Poggi on the show before.
Yeah.
The 49ers, they're not doing too bad. They're 2-3, which makes this even more funny because the coach in question that was talking trash, their defensive coordinator, this was after a win over Rice. So he goes to Twitter. I'm going to put it on the screen here, and I'll read it off for the podcast audience. So there was an account that posted a clip from the game, from the Rice game, and Coach Ryan Osborne replies and says, "Real nuisance of a play. Hey, wait, doesn't your brother work for us?" So then another Charlotte account quotes it and says, "You want to elaborate on that, Oz?" And Coach says, "What part? Tight end delay screen where we had bad eyes and missed 3 tackles, or that his brother works in this building? I only have 24 minutes of Q&A, and I have to go to a staff meeting to prepare to beat ECU. Hunter Bailey, maybe we should do a Sunday Q&A on the pod." So he would later apologize that day. This is the same day. He says, "This morning I made some reactionary comments to criticism on social media, and I sincerely apologize for responding so poorly. Niner Nation is amazing, and I made a mistake, plain and simple. As we headed to our 3rd straight sellout, our fans continue to step up and support our program, which means so much to our team. We can't wait to play ECU on Saturday and look forward to an electric environment. Go Niners." So this is Biff Poggi talking about that whole ordeal as it went down.
Okay.
With a statement, came to my attention Sunday morning. We got back late from Houston, or early from Houston Sunday morning. Came to my attention after that Coach Osborne had been in a inappropriate back and forth with a fan on Twitter. I met with Coach Osborne. We had a very stern talk. That is completely unacceptable. He knows it. He issued an apology, and it will not happen again. And what I said to him was this: go home tonight and thank God that we coach at a place where our fans care. Because look, I'm not going to name any names, but we have been places, and I have been places, where you play and nobody cares. Our fans care. They show up. This program's 12 years old, hasn't had the wins our fans wanted, but they keep showing up. And it's 3 straight sellouts. I think Saturday's supposed to be like standing room only tickets. There are schools who win a lot of games that would die for that. And I love the fact that when we win, they're joyous, and when we lose, they take it as hard as we do. And you got to have thick skin if you're going to be in this business, whether you're a player, you're a coach, you're an AD, you're a chancellor, whatever it is. You got to have thick skin. And the day our fans stop caring, that will be a problem. And I love the fact that I don't know how they do it, but they'll get a snippet of a play and they'll break it down. I don't know where they get it or how they get it, but and they love it. And I appreciate that. I have said a million times, more than I can count on my toes and my fingers, I love our fans, and it's a great fan base. And
so that means at least 21 times.
And that's what we're working on. Okay. Any questions?
So it's smart. You know, you turn it into a love fest with your fans.
So was the coach saying that the fan has a brother that works in the building?
I guess that's what it seemed like. On? Yeah, but we didn't see the tweet in question, did we? Where the coach was being criticized?
So it was literally just a tweet of like a clip from the Rice game.
Right.
And so I guess the account, I think it's another one of those, because the one that quoted it was Sidelines Charlotte. So it was another one of those type of accounts that started it. So I guess his brother works in the building.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's funny, man. Like the thing that when listening to their coach talk. By the way, I think he's upgraded his sleeveless sweatshirt
thank you,
game.
Ira. I was going to go there. Yes, that's correct.
He has upgraded a little bit.
Yeah, gotten better.
back in the day, man, when I was covering Florida basketball and Lon Kruger was the head coach and Florida State came, and I think it was after Florida State had the fight where the pencil got involved.
Yeah.
Anyway, Florida's students had not been coming to games. Florida basketball had been terrible. They finally show up because Florida State was really good. They come into town, and some Florida fans threw pencils on the court or and it was not good. You don't want fans throwing pencils on the court. But the media kind of came at the coach, Lon Kruger, how embarrassed are you by the fans or by your students? And he was like, look, man, I'm just glad they came.
Yeah, they can throw whatever they want.
We're going to
throw whatever they want.
We'll work on the decorum at some point. But right now, they came in the building for one of our games. So I think that's where Biff is right now.
Well, and also imagine that conversation. You'd be so disappointed to have that sit down with your coach. Really, man? You're in an argument with a fan on Twitter?
And you bring up the brother who works for you.
Yeah, you bringing up fan. I mean, this is not what we do. It's just just delete your account and move on.
I like that he had a stern talking to him. He had a stern. He let us know it was a stern talking.
Yeah, that's good. That's big. And how about Charlotte football selling out every week now? Yeah. That's big time.
I was going to tell you the highlight of the clip is the fact that I don't think any of us would have guessed that they had that many sellouts in a row and that it's standing room only in Charlotte, guys.
Probably not the Panther Stadium, I guess, right?
No. I don't think they're selling out Bank of America. Or
probably a little smaller venue, I would think, but still good for them.
Yeah, rolling on Big River. Ben, what do we got?
I just thought it was funny that happened off of a win too. That's pretty hilarious. Yeah. Let's go to a new one. How about Trent Dilfer, Ravens legend, the head coach at UAB. So they lost 41-18 to Navy. UAB is now 1-3, and Coach Dilfer had his grandson come up during the post-game press conference after that loss to Navy. So that's the first clip, and then the second clip, he was asked about that on Monday. So let's hear what the Super Bowl champ has to say.
Trent Dilfer has great
with a game like this, with a team like this, that with Navy, when you get off to
he can come up. It's like two of them. It's not like this is freaking Alabama. Let's go.
There's two of them, like two media. Is that what you said?
Two media, and then he just said it's not like it's Alabama.
That's awesome.
Go ahead.
But how much?
Trent, during the post-game presser, you quoted, "This is not freaking Alabama."
Oh boy!
What would you say to UAB fans who may have perceived this as something that you didn't mean to say, or could you just elaborate on what you meant to say?
Were you there?
I was not there.
There's my answer.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm here today.
There were two people there. Okay, and my grandson wanted to come up, and I heard like a little stirring. I said, "There's two people here. This isn't freaking Alabama's press conference. My grandson can come up."
But you are aware of this program's history.
I am very aware of this program's history.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That it's a proud program, Corey.
Oh, okay.
Corey, what's wrong with you?
I thought he meant
like question for. What's wrong with you?
You know how much this program hates grandchildren, right? That's been established.
You're not out here just downtrodden this great history at UAB.
This is a proud program that literally was canceled just a few years ago. But listen, man, I get fans maybe being irritated, but I love the fact that reporter who's like, "Don't you understand the proud tradition of UAB football?" But I don't come to post game press conferences.
Yeah, that's tough. Like maybe one of the two that had been there needed to ask that question.
It also kind of makes Trent Dilfer look like a sympathetic figure, which I do not think he is. But I don't think he is. He's been horrible at that job. And also, I'm not a huge fan of, it does disrespect in a way what the media, not even the media, to your fans when you're like, I know we just lost by 4 touchdowns. Come on up here, Johnny, and let's not there are any grandkids named Johnny anymore. Come up here, Bryce. There's we don't really care that much about that loss. You can come up here and sit with grandpops for this interview. That's maybe a little disrespectful to the fan base, but at the same time, it's UAB, as Trent Dilfer said, rightly. Does anyone really care?
Yeah, it's not a good look for the coach to say it. I think Iris point's the best one here about the guy asking the question. I mean, that's the problem. The guy who takes umbrage with all of it wasn't there covering the game. So that's a bit of a problem.
And listen, man, I'm pretty sure now, of course, Mike Krzyzewski accomplished a lot more at Duke.
Yeah, you can stop. Don't make that comparison.
But I'm pretty sure he brought his grandkids up on the thing for a game in Tallahassee that we covered.
Maybe,
so
but how many wins was that after 1,000 wins?
Who cares? I bet it's just
5
like
national championships.
all
He's about to be fired. It makes
to-
you look like to me. Sometimes that happens as if, and it wouldn't there because there's only 2 people. But it's like, okay, are you going to really be an asshole to me in front of my grandkid? Come on now, I'm a human being.
I don't think the issue is with the grandkids. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think it's the comment about it's not like it's Alabama. We're not.
Yes, correct.
That's the issue that they have.
No, you're right. You're right.
I don't think anybody cares what the grandkids got up there.
Well, that's what started that whole
He wants to ask about the comment.
That.
But he wants to ask about the comment. That's what he wants to ask.
Which is fair. And he should have said, like, look, this is not an Alabama press conference. Even that probably would have irritated some people. But listen, man.
Yeah.
I mean, UAB people, relax. You
Hey,
at least
don't
you have your
start.
team back.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you will have a new coach.
You will have a new coach very soon.
And I can't believe he has grandkids. I guess I can.
Shocker, yeah.
But I thought he was he might be 50, right? I guess he was drafted in like 95.
He was with the Bucks. Great draft pick.
So I guess he's old. Yeah, he's probably 50, 51.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah,
right.
That makes sense.
Glad you worked him in, Ben. Glad you worked him in, Ben, because otherwise we're not going to see much of Trent much longer.
Yeah, we don't have much of a chance. Yeah,
we got to get him in. Who's number 3 on the list?
All right, we had fun with Hugh Freeze last week, and I guess he just enjoyed being on the show because he had some more things to say on Monday. How about throwing the previous regime under the bus a little bit?
Here we go. All right.
Results are going to come. We're not that far off, and hope the 25 recruiting class sees that and knows they have a chance to come in and immediately impact this program, just like the 24 class is currently doing. But building does take time. I think you all are aware of what we inherited. Our AD has done a marvelous job of explaining that. And he did to me before I took the job with the previous recruiting classes not being you need to compete at a high level, and 57 transfers out in the previous 3 years before my arrival. So building takes time. But our process, when complete, is going to make everyone very, very proud and to wear the orange and blue. It's making ground. The process is. I see it. The record doesn't reflect it.
No.
Even when playing, 12 freshmen and I think combination of the 49 guys that played Saturday, there was 24, if you count our kicker, 24 freshmen and sophomores that played the majority of the snaps, and I use that for my recruiting pitch. We'll play you early. So let's finish this 25 class up and give us some more depth that we need to compete in this great conference.
These guys every week remind me that if you just had a decent PR guy that you ran things by before you went to the press conference, it could save you so much trouble. It would take 2 seconds for any one of the 3 of us to be like, hey, man, not a real good look. You're excuse making every week these days. Also, you had to sit around and kind of calculate exactly, because this is pre-planned when you're telling me exactly how many freshmen and how many sophomores. Yeah, and so it's even worse that it was premeditated. And nobody cares about how hard you have it. You're paid handsomely. It's like you couldn't say, hey, listen, I get it. You took the job and you just got done telling us that the AD warned you of how bad it was. Go to hell with that nonsense. Get out of here with that.
The only slight positive for him was when he started down that road. I'm like, dude, what are you telling the other dudes on your roster who are part of those classes that you just took a crap on? But then he's like, well, 57 of them.
I was going to say most of them apparently are. Yeah, they're not there anymore. So it also looked like he was he reading from a sheet? Like he looked like he flipped over a sheet.
Corey.
So he had all those numbers down. Like we played 24 guys. We had 57. He had written all that out to make sure that he had a point to tell people so he didn't forget. Real quick, because we're still in the state of Alabama. Do you think the reporter talking to Dilfer Didn't Alabama try to shut down the UAB program?
Well, you remember Jimbo was a candidate for the UAB job.
Yeah.
Or Alabama didn't want them to have a program or something.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that maybe that's what the reporter meant when he said you are aware of the history of this program, as in the team you just held up is that it's not like we're Alabama. It's the team that or the school that tried to keep us from having
briefly for the ruination of our program. Yeah.
And then you're here at a press conference after getting waxed and saying it's not like this is Alabama. You can come on up here and play with your Legos.
Well, no, you definitely, especially when you add that context, Corey. Good point. That you can certainly understand why the fans, besides the fact that the team is not any good, are not enamored with Trent Dilfer. Yeah, that would definitely. But we get what he was saying.
I didn't. I'd forgotten about that. I thought he was like, "How dare you not say we're as good as Alabama?" This is.
Here's my question to the two of you: which would you like to cover more, Trent Dilfer or Hugh Freeze?
Trent Dilfer should have asked the reporter, "Hey man, where would you rather be covering Alabama right now or this?"
Or this talking to me, talking to a horrible college football coach.
I'm a slappy. What are you doing? Yeah.
Are you questioning your career choices at this point?
Correct. What do we got, Ben?
Let's go to a fun one now. This is Chip Kelly, now Ohio State offensive coordinator. We had him on here last year as UCLA's head coach. You know, Chip keeps it real. And so someone asked what the difference was between being a head coach and an offensive coordinator. Funny answer from Coach Kelly.
You can go to the bathroom between series if you have to. That's the only difference, I think.
Okay.
It's always kind of tough. Coach Coop can tell you that on the sideline. It'd be really difficult to say, hey, I'm going to leave, you know what I mean? But there's a bathroom upstairs by the booth, so if need be.
Okay, so he's not on the field.
Yeah.
That's where I was confused by. I'm like, wait, he's walking off he's walking from the sidelines into the locker room to go pee? I've never seen an offensive coordinator do that, but I guess if you're up in the box, you can do whatever you want.
Chip's hydrating up there apparently in the box.
I was going to say, man, you only got to wait a half.
It's not that
It's 2 quarters. We can make it.
It's
2
an hour and a
quarters,
half. I think.
Yeah.
I think we can make it. Also, if you're on the sideline, you can do what a lot of the players do. They go in the injury tent. It's a little secret there, a little inside intel.
Oh, Ira, pulling the curtain back a little bit. What we want.
Go in the injury tent and take care of your business. So
technically, you could do more than pee in there. You could do a number 2. I mean, it's got to be quick, but with the TV timeouts these days built in, that's at least 3.5 minutes. You got
I don't
time.
think that would be appreciated by the staff.
Maybe not.
The equipment managers wouldn't be thrilled, I don't think.
No, or even if you're up in the box, you could do it up in the box. It'd be a little easier, but still.
I think it'd be unprecedented, I think, if the manager went in there and said,
it would be back in the day, like in a Jackie Sherrill or a Hayden Fry or something. They would when position's playing terrible, they go in the injury tent, drop a deuce, bring it out. This is what you guys
are doing
right now. Yeah, awful. I'm not going to be able to shake this image. This is terrible.
Chip Kelly out there just dropping deuces everywhere.
I really wanted. I felt
Hey guys, speaking of poop, Ole Miss looked like poop against Kentucky.
Tough
in a loss. This is Lane Kiffin trying to explain that, talking about Coach Stoops a little bit, and then later on in the press conference, he was asked about his kicker who missed a potential game-tying field goal.
Very badly.
We got the ball up 4 with the ball, and we go 3 and out and punt it back and stop them in 3 and or get to the 4th down, 4th and 7, and throw a go route. So I got to credit Stoops. That's not anything he's probably ever done in his life. And, he's got out of his character and 3.5 minutes left. So I commend him for doing that. And I'm sure your little ESPN percentages probably does 98% winning at that point. So good throw, good play by them. And then still have a chance to stop them and don't. And we get it back and move it down and miss a field goal. So, all 3 phases had chances to win the game or at least tie the game and didn't do it. So.
Obviously, games come down to more than just one play. Just how did you see Caden take that miss, and did you see any guys trying to pick him up or anything like that?
No, I didn't witness all that. I just saw the miss.
Yeah. And it was such a bad miss that I think he was more mad than anything. Like, are you kidding me, man? You didn't even come close.
And think about the coddling that reporter thinks exists amongst. Yeah, I mean, what are we doing? I mean, did you see anybody go pick him up? No, man. Asshole just missed the game time field goal, and it wasn't ever fucking close.
He kicked it. He almost kicked me in the head on the sidelines with that ball.
In fact, I was talking to Tommy, our linebacker, and I suggested, hey, man, maybe send a message. How about a little code blue?
Code red.
Code red.
Tonight in the football dorm, if he gets beaten half to death with soap, I understand. I mean, these things can happen.
It's the SEC. We're trying to win games here. This ain't UAB.
Got to make that kick. What the hell?
It's also like I get that that's a storyline that people do, but it's like
he wants to.
But I mean, that's an odd story, or I don't know if you're writing that story. Like, hey, everybody believes in you still, because none of them believe in him. It wasn't like he barely missed. I mean, he missed. It was such a bad kick, and
kicked it sideways.
There's bigger stories than that, right? Like, of course he's terrible, and of course the players in that moment probably despise him for missing that.
The biggest story is the Kentucky defense dominating the Ole Miss offense. That's the story of the game. And Stoops has done that quite a bit to a lot of people, by the way. I mean, Georgia scored 13 points against Kentucky.
Yeah,
so
no
it's
touchdowns.
like, that's Kentucky's defense is the story. Go write the story. Stop worrying about us hugging the kicker.
I do like that Kiffin brought up, because in that game, Stoops punted it on 4th and 7 to Georgia, and then never got the ball back, or got it back with like 5 seconds left at his own.
Learned his lesson, didn't he?
Yeah, and then Kiffin's like, that's completely against Stoops. That's not what he does. He changed his character. It's like, oh, well, that's true. He did.
And I got to give him credit though for commending him.
And the quarterback throws a dime. The receiver makes a great catch. I mean, that was. I was watching that. My jaw just dropped. I couldn't believe it.
Ask the cornerback. Is anybody trying to pick up that cornerback for giving up the game-winning pass?
Did you see any of his secondary mates hugging him on the sideline afterwards?
No, they hate him. They hate losing.
It's football, man. It's football. We moved on to the next week already. Go write your crybaby story.
In fact, him and the kicker both got kicked out of the good dorm.
Yeah,
they were hanging out at the club that night. What do we got, Ben?
Got some artesian water is what Daddy just got.
Boom, that's what we have. Ben, I'm going to interrupt you because we're going to wait because Corey set it up on a tee. Artesiawater.com. It's local. It's delicious. And oh, by the way,
it's cold.
Customer service is the best. The customer service is
the
best. It is. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. And that's one of the things when I talked to Trevor, and it's family-owned business, and that was one of the things that they really pride themselves on because they are locally owned in North Florida. The customer service, they respond quickly. You're not calling an 800 number somewhere. Oh, there's a gallon. Yep. Or you lifted up another full one like he does.
Yeah. This is full. I mean, I know this is how strong I am. This is left-handed too.
Strength galore.
They can respond quickly. They pride themselves on customer service and family-owned, and it's a great product. And if you go to artesiawater.com, ARTEZIA water.com, and you ask for a consultation, ask for information. You mentioned that you watch my coach speak, you'll get the first month free. And again, it's Kim said to me the other day, and no offense to any of our other business partners on our other ventures.
Yeah.
Kim said the other day that Artesia is her favorite. Kim does pick favorites. In fact, she tells our kids which one is the favorite at the current time.
Oh, and that's tough.
And Artesia is consistently her favorite.
Iris left to pick up the pieces with clients and children.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say.
Tough times.
I'm just going to say I love
about this stuff.
I love Artesia water. Literally, it's been awesome. It's been great.
All right, Ben, now who do we have?
All right, let's go to the opposite sideline of that game. Mark Stoops, jubilation after that big win over Ole Miss. So this is as he's walking into the post-game press conference. If you can't hear this, I'll break it down for you a little bit. I tried to amplify it some, but just a little funny exchange before he goes up to the podium.
How was the surfing?
Conservative anymore, don't worry.
Yeah. Maybe I was a dumbass.
Nice.
Help us out here, Ben.
So you're not as conservative anymore, and then he said, maybe I was a dumbass?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. About the 4th down, right?
Yeah.
The one against Georgia.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Lesson learned. We like to see on Coach Speak lessons learned, both in how to handle situations, how to handle questions, how to handle your decorum in those moments.
Yeah.
A+, Mark Stoops. There you go. You had
well,
fun.
We saw it earlier with Dilfer on that Monday press conference. His grandkid wasn't with him. He learned his lesson
quickly, Corey.
His grandkid has been jettisoned to Alabama, apparently.
Since we've circled back to the Trent Dilfer press conference several times during this show, how great would it have been if he's lost all ability to care and he came to that Monday press conference in an Alabama hat? If he was wearing an Alabama sweatshirt. What?
Or a Milrow jersey. He could be wearing a Milrow jersey.
You know what he could do would be epic is if he just got a bunch of dummies and put them in all the seats in the press conference and dressed them up like reporters. Now I feel like I am at Alabama.
You could take it another step further. Have the entire thing set up like you suggested with dummies and then a couple of live people. Have an Alabama hat, Alabama sweatshirt, have the Coca-Cola up on the thing, and go on a Nick Saban-like diatribe.
And talk like him.
It's UAB.
Yeah. It would be fantastic.
And then he'll get his check for getting fired.
So with Stoops, man, I was thinking about him driving down here this week. Weirdly, I don't think about Mark Stoops a lot, but he's the longest tenured coach in the SEC because he left Florida State in 2000 after the 2012 season.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's been in Kentucky since 2013.
Corey, I got to tell you, a lot of people have been thinking about Mark Stoops lately. You're not the only one. There's a lot
it's just it's out in the ether, right? It's like, man, it's just Stoops season.
It's just. That's strange.
You're just reminded, like it's to be at a SEC school for that long is nuts, and he's done such a admirable job, job.
But also, it speaks to how quickly this sport can change with one win because I think through last season and it's not a little bit earlier this season you started wondering, hey man, did Mark Stoops is Kentucky all of his career is ever going to be? Because
I thought you were going to say is this as good as Kentucky can ever be, which the answer is probably yes.
100%.
Yeah.
But he's been there. But he's been there so long,
right?
I think he's turned down a couple other opportunities. Didn't get involved in the Florida State job at one point, or it didn't work out.
Hang in there, Mark. You may get a second opportunity, buddy. I'm just
coming around the bend here.
Yeah.
But it feels like he's been there too long. Now we'll see what happens from here, man. Because with his offense, they could lose the next game, 17-3. So
I think he's got a good gig. He's figured out how to play good enough defense to win 6 or more games every year and go to a bowl, and that makes him a deity in Lexington.
Right.
And they're never like an embarrassment. Like they'll lose 5-6 times a year sometimes.
They'll play hard.
They play hard, man, and I think that's something that fan base can get behind. They play hard, and I've always equated it to. In a way, to Florida State basketball, like when it was going well. Leonard had teams you could root for because they played their asses off. That's the same with Kentucky, man. And they'll occasionally beat one of these top dogs and knock them out, and you get to feel really good about it. You're never going to win a national championship at Kentucky football, but man, he's done a good job of keeping them relatively relevant
for sure
and being easy to cheer for.
Yeah, and your comparison's good because it's the second sport at each school. The problem is, my point was only. If he ever wants to be at a school where he's the number one sport,
I think the window was gone 5 years ago. I'm with you. He could have done it, but he turned them down. Now he may, like I said, get another opportunity here shortly. We'll see. Ben, what do we got?
Hey, remember, guys, he was named the A&M coach, and it was kind of some backlash, and they ended up taking that offer back. But this is our last one. This is BYU head coach Kalani Sitake. Hopefully I said that correctly. But this is him at the end of the press conference. Coaches like to say they don't pay attention to the outside noise, but maybe Coach does a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Else?
Nope. That's it. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Just another thing to add, just to talk about it. The way the team's working it's going really nicely. I'm proud of the team. There's this thought that we're not being aggressive in the second half when we have a lead. It's not true. Okay, so as we go through stuff, and we are not a conservative team. We've been very aggressive, and so in terms of conservative, we should have been a little bit more in this game, to be honest with you. But we faked the punt on 4th and 10, backed up in the second half. We threw the ball on 3rd and 9. Got an interception. We threw the ball on 3rd and 2 late in the fourth quarter, got an interception. And if anything, we've had leads before and have held on to them. Southern Illinois, Wyoming, Kansas State. So when people are talking about our program and talking about our mindset, we are an aggressive team. We like to find ways to make big plays. That's what we're going to do. And in terms of being conservative, I like to be conservative. Maybe that would have worked out a little bit more in this game if we would have done that. But we're working on it too. But when we're talking about getting better as a team, that's for all of us, myself and other coaches. We can all improve. But in terms of trying to find ways to be aggressive in the game, I've always said that from the very beginning. We're an intense team. We want to be aggressive, but we're going to do what's best for the team in terms of trying to win. And maybe on this game, we should have been more aggressive when people are accusing us of being conservative. Maybe we should have been less aggressive and more conservative. So it's funny how things work. I wonder if anyone's accusing Alabama of being super conservative in their game too. So appreciate you guys. Just as you look through this and you look at the grand scope of things, we know what we're doing. We're working really hard on it. Just want everybody to kind of see the whole entire game as they go through it and critiquing us, which we don't mind. Feedback that works for us too, but make sure that it's all on the up and up. Thanks, guys.
Can tell
Go
I don't
Cougs.
care.
So yeah, you can tell I don't care at all.
I just spent 12 minutes saying the same thing 13 different ways
over and over again
because it doesn't bother me at all.
And we're undefeated. And that was at the end of a 20-minute press conference where he answered. It was like he was waiting for that question, I guess. He was waiting for somebody to. And he never got it. And then so the whole press conference over. I don't know. I can't remember if I've been doing this for a long ass time. I don't remember if I've ever seen at the end of a press conference a coach. Usually they would want to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, one more thing that you guys didn't bring up.
I've got a great answer to a question y'all haven't asked, and I'm just going to say my answer. And then just keep repeating it on a loop for about another minute and a half, just to make sure you're understanding me.
Remember how uncomfortable we all got when that kid asked a question after the bell rang when you were in class and you're trying to get out and leave, and that son of a bitch is going to ask another question. You're like, really?
Don't we have? Hey, Miss Smith, don't we have homework?
Let's go. What are you doing?
It was. It also they're undefeated, right? And they just beat Baylor.
Yeah,
they're playing great.
You want to talk about first world problems?
Good Lord,
people criticizing his team when they get up 28-0 for not winning 56-0. It's like, man, you were undefeated. Don't worry about any of that. Just keep winning games. They won't. They don't care.
And he's like, we were aggressive. We threw the ball on third down twice. I mean,
he said they ran a fake punt.
Yeah, 4th and 10 backed up.
I don't know about a fake punt on 4th and 10 when you have a big lead. That I would like you to be a little more conservative there, actually, Coach. I'm on the other camp. I want you to be a little more conservative there.
I'm going to say that this coach speak has taught us that these guys, we've got an era of coaches that are very sensitive
in their feelings a little bit, right?
They are very much paying attention to social media and commentary around the program. Like that's today's theme on Coach Speak is that every coach that says that he can drown out the noise and doesn't pay attention to what's said about the program is lying in the modern era because they all do. It's crazy.
Especially that guy in Charlotte. Man. That guy in Charlotte needs to get off Twitter for a while, man, or Instagram.
Call it a day.
So I'm going to nominate my nomination for the Dave Aranda Coach of the Week is actually going to be Mark Stoops because I like the fact that he kind of laughed at himself.
Yeah.
Because he I mean, of everybody in this group, he's the one that seemed to not be taking himself too seriously.
I'm with it. I thought it was great. I like Mark Stoops too, so I'll go with you.
I'm going to go with the BYU coach. I just thought that was a smart, concise answer to a question that wasn't asked, and he gave us a lot of content there at the end of the show. It was well done.
I did appreciate at the end where he's like, feel free to criticize us, guys. We don't mind it.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, we don't even know what you're saying about us.
You can tell that it doesn't affect me in any way. Look at me. Also, he's a big bitch, by the way.
He's enormous. Yeah, and apparently a good coach.
Yeah,
good coach.
I'm going to get into an argument with him.
Friends, if you guys share this, with your friends. Tell other people about it, but don't tell BYU's coach about it.
No, we love him.
He doesn't need to see this.
I'm not critical of BYU's coach. That's other people. I don't know. Yeah. I think he's doing a great job. Clearly, he's doing a great job. Ben, good work out of you as always. For Ira and Corey, I'm Jeff. Thanks for watching Coach Speak. Be good, everybody.
Drink Artesia water.
Yep.